Well, hello. Yeah. Um, we all got a little extra time on our hands lately, so I've been looking on, the different sites, the retailers, online retailers, and specifically Acoustic Sounds. They have got a lot of Blue Notes, jazz records and such, that they have remastered, and they're getting Kevin Gray to do a lot of the work for them for the cutting the lacquers. Now, Acoustic Sounds in 2015, just after Doug Sachs had passed away, they bought the mastering lab, all his stuff, and they got it running in 2017. And I don't personally know what's going on after that because everything I see on their site that that Acoustic Sounds is Quality Records is producing, I see coherent audio, which is good. I mean, they're great. Hey, I'm not complaining, but I'm just kind of wondering whatever happened to the mastering lab and what they're actually doing. I know they are cutting some jazz stuff. I mean, I should say blues stuff. Chad's big into the blues, and they've got some original blues art records that they produce, that they cut. Aside from that, I don't know what they're remastering. So anyway, it's about time. And what I had done, like I said, I bought about 5 Blue Note 45 RPM double LPs from him, and Jacob, I bought the Steve Wilson Aquila. Yeah, I can't see how, because I've had some of those Steve Wilson remixes and I really wasn't that big of a fan. But everybody, I mean, I've read a lot of stuff and you said it was fantastic, and you've got probably the best 33 and a third out there, the classic records reissue that I've ever heard. So I bought it. It's coming. A couple of days or so. We'll get into all that. But I thought it was time to get into what my jazz, my journey in jazz, the records that I have that are considered jazz records. Um, First of all, this is a record that Chad at Quality Records, which they remastered. And look how great the record is. So with that said, it started out, it was about 1974, and I was selling stereos next to Eaton's up there in Portage Avenue in Winnipeg. And a fellow walked in the store, and he asked me if I had was ever listened to any jazz. And I said, no, this is like, 74. And I said, no, I have never listened to any jazz yet. He said, well, here, why don't you try this Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy, Return to Forever. Try that record. And he also recommended Donald Byrd, Ethiopian Nights. These were just new records at the time. And another one that he recommended to me was Billy Cobham, Spectrum. Well, I'm not too sure if you're familiar with these records right here. These are some fantastic records right here. This is what you call fusion. He's trying to get me into jazz, but he's kind of bringing me in that side door, because this is fusion. It's got a lot of rock influence in it. It's not your hard bop or bebop or anything like that. This is a fusion jazz. Really good record here. Another one of my favorite records. I bought another one years ago, and I still got it in the shrink. This is like hardly ever been played. This one here. And then this one, Billy Cobham, Spectrum. That song Stratus. Billy Cobham, Spectrum, Stratus. Put that on YouTube. Go listen to that for a little while. See what you think of that. That's great. Then, of course, Billy Cobham, Total Eclipse. I got that soon after. And he's got, the Brecker brothers are on here. And Billy Cobham's chorus, and Abercrombie is on the guitar. Amazing horns, guitars, great record. Moon Germs. And then I picked up this Herbie Hancock sextant. A little different kind of a flavor here. It's a little different kind of a record right here. So it gets you oriented, thinking a little bit different about how music's constructed. And then I got into some Deodato. This is, I heard someone say this was like, yeah, I won't repeat what he said, but West 42nd Street. I love that song on this. Deodato Whirlwinds. And then I got into some of that, I like a lot of horns, so Bob James 1 and Bob James 2, with next couple records that I got into. And then some other various stuff. We'll get to that. But those were kind of like the earlier influences in my jazz journey. No, I think I still got a few. This one here didn't get put in the right spot. Let's go a little bit more. Yeah, we still got a few more to get into. And then we got this one. Okay. And then I picked up this Mo Kaufman Solar Expect. This is a lot of horns again, kind of a big band in a way. Really good record. And then I found this at Kmart, I think I bought this record. Southern Comfort, the Crusaders. And after I bought this Crusaders record, I ended up buying some more Crusaders records because, yeah, these guys, they're not acid jazz or anything, but yeah, I like it. It's good music. And then I was able to pick up the Trouble Man, Marvin Gaye, the Trouble Man soundtrack. And there's a song on here, Don't Mess with Mr. T. Trouble Man. After Cleo's Apartment, then you get the Trouble Man. And the theme from Trouble Man. Man, Marvin Gaye can sing that. Wow. I used to listen to it every day for a long time. And then I was able to, a few years back, I bought it on 180 gram pressing. Sounds really good. It's an improvement over my original. And the same thing with this. I got into about this Curtis Mayfield record because, it's got Little Child Running Wild, Pusher Man. That Pusher Man, that was recorded at a different place. And the fidelity on Pusher Man is better than the other songs. But then right after Pusher Man, Freddie's Dead. Those are good songs. That's the good stuff. Turn the lights out, listen to that. I love it. And then I went over to Opus, and because of that Donald Byrd Ethiopian Nights, I bought this Donald Byrd record, Bird in Flight. And now we're getting into Blue Note stuff. We got Jackie McLean, Hank Moberly, Duke Pearson, Doug Watkins, Lex Humphreys. We got trumpet, alto sax, piano, bass, drums. So yeah, really good. And I really love this record. And I still have the original shrink on it because I bought it new, 74. And then I've got this one, Donald Byrd, A New Perspective. And again, we've got Donald Byrd, Hank Moberly, Donald Best, Kenny Burrell, Herbie Hancock, Lex Humphreys, drum, bass, vibes on this one, tenor sax, trumpet, guitar. Really good. So that's kind of got me into the hard bop. And then at the same time there, I got this Stanley Clarke record. This thing is a mind blower, this record here, this Stanley Clarke's first record, where he does Lopsy Lou and there's Vulcan Princess, and yeah, there's a lot of great songs on here. This is a fantastic record. And then I wanted to talk about some of these really good sounding jazz records. I've got a few in the front here I took out of the pile. This is original Jazz at the Pawn Shop on the Premonition label. This is a live recording made in Sweden. And there's a song on here, strutting with some barbecue, Jeeps, blues, stuff like that. They play in the The vibes on here, wow. They're just sparkle on this record. And then Patricia Barber Nightclub. This is on the first edition Premonition label. Just an outstanding sounding record. Just outstanding. And then this is Nora Jones. This is on the Classic Records 200 gram issue when the first edition when it came out. Another really, really good sounding record. And then I've got Herbie Hancock. This is the reissue of Headhunters, done by Quality Records again on Analog Productions. What a fantastic record and a great sounding record, thanks to Chad Kassem over there at Quality Records. Amazing. Then I've got a Herbie Hancock Thrush. It's like the year after Headhunters came out. We got some Gatto Barberi, Tom Scott, and the L.A. Express. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with Tom Scott and the L.A. Express, but these guys are really good. This is some good jazz music here. Tom Scott and the L.A. Express. Les McCann, Layers. That's a cool record too. And then I've got Mahuvishu, Birds of Fire. This is a first edition Japanese press. Great record. Then a little Italian jazz prog kind of stuff. PFM Cook, Billy Cobham Crosswinds. It's another really good Billy Cobham record of the same era. I think that's 75. And then again, another really good record. Right after Whirlwinds, they did Prelude, another great Deodato record. And then there's one here of Deodato in concert. And of course, the guitar player that plays with Deodato is John Tropia. So I got his solo record. Jerry Goodman with Jan Hammer. And see, Jan Hammer plays on those Billy Cobham records. He plays on the Stanley Clarke records. He's a phenomenal keyboard player and can really, really go. Great. So I got this Jan Hammer with Jerry Goodman, really good record. And then the Jan Hammer group, this is another good one. They might have had a few others, but these are the two I kept that I really enjoy. Then we've got some more Chick Corea. This is another Japanese pressing. This came out after the first record. And then we've got Chick Corea Return to Forever with Flora Plurum's on here singing. Return to Forever. She's singing 500 Miles High. Yeah, I love that song. Chick Corea, 500 Miles High. And then another Return to Forever. And then Chick Corea did something a little bit later called The Electric Band. It's still kind of a fusion thing. Good record. And then, Al Di Meola, he played with Chick Corea. And so did Stanley Clarke. So we've got, that's how I got turned on to that. We got Elegant Gypsy, Casino, and I do believe, let's have a look, can't remember exactly, yeah. It might be Japanese pressing, yeah, I thought it was. Not that it matters, but Casino, and then Electric Rendezvous. And then there's another Stanley Clarke record. Really good. This is a really good record right here, the Stanley Clarke record. Journey to Love. Really good. Larry Coryell, The Essential. This guy is a great guitar player. And then I've got him with the 11th House. That was his band. Really good stuff here. And then I picked this up. I got this just after I bought the Jethro Tull on the Clarity 45 RPM stuff. And of course I bought it new. And you know me, I like to leave the shrink on the front. And this is Sarah Vaughan, You're Mine Too. This is really good. I listened to this on YouTube before I bought it, and I thought that I really, really like this record. Of course, look who's with it. You know, arranged and conducted by Quincy Jones. He always does such great, makes such great sounding records. And then, of course, they're all. It's on the nice Roulette label, original label, I guess. And then the other side is there's no music on it. It's just says classic records with the strobe. And these are, of course, obviously the original inner sleeves, which are nice. Quality paper line, but they've got the little logo on there. Pretty nice. And there's 4 of them. And they're handmade and all that stuff. Really good. Nice record. And of course, I was just looking to see what was available and what was a good deal, and this was one of the ones. So that's why I got it. And I really liked the record, and it didn't have to pay crazy, you know, price for it. Ron Carter. Now this is some of the CTI stuff. You know, CTI always made, in this early 70s here, they made great records. Always had nice laminated covers, front and back, and it's on that yellow CTI label. You'll probably be familiar with this. I'll take one out. Yeah. These records, they do sound nice too, the CTI. Really nice. And of course, you know, Ron Carter, Hubert Laws, Billy Cobham, Ralph McDonald, Leon Penderis. Really good. And then I got another CTI, Stanley Turntine, Don't Mess with Mr. T. He's doing Don't Mess with Mr. T as well, Stanley Turntine. Good record. Now we got another one. Remember Billy Cobham did Moon Germs. Well, now we got Joe Farrell doing Moon Germs. And this is a cool, I bought this record new. This is a cool record. Cool cover on it. Again, it's on CTI. Creed Taylor, CTI Records, division of Creed Taylor Inc., New York. Beautiful records. And then we got Freddie Hubbard, Straight Life, with George Benson, Ron Carter, Dak Gionette, Herbie Hancock, Joe Henderson, CTI. Another nice jazz, good jazz record. And then another record that I really love, and I went and got another one. I got one that was in the shrink. Gabor Szabo, Miserab. What a fantastic record. Bob James is on here. Dak Jeanette, Billy Cobham, Rob Carter, Ralph McDonald. Wow. It's kind of funny, these Gabor Szabo records, kind of one side is kind of cover tunes, and then they do the other side is great, usually. The other side is the one I always love, because they're doing their own thing. Fantastic stuff. Good record. And then I've got another Gabor Szabo record, and it is, I can't even pronounce it, but this is it here. That panel. And we've got Jim Stewart, Jimmy Kelter, Louis Gabor Szabo guitar. We got 2 guitars, percussion, drums, and bass. Good record. And then one last thing, and I guess what we're going to do is I'll make another video. I knew I'd have to get part 2 in here. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to be right back with part 2. Bye for now.